For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Remember to use the code WOLF at the checkout for a massive 5% off your order, especially with Team of the Season just round the corner. Link is down below.
Yes then YouTube, we are back, but first, drop this video a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. So today's custom tactics video is going to be of a formation I absolutely love, have done all year really, and have done ever since Kurt made it popular on probably, I think it was FIFA 18, and that is the 4-4-2. So without any further ado, let's get into the custom tactic. The defensive style on the 4-4-2, there are two things I think you can use, but one thing I think you definitely should use. Now, the thing that you can use is pressure on heavy touch, but just be wary if you use this, YouTube, that your player's stamina will get drained a lot if you are going to use it. I'm talking like probably by like the 45th halftime, or definitely by the 60th minute, your player's staminas are going to be so drained. So that's why I think it is better to use balanced on the defensive style. Yes, balanced. A balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. I really do think that is better, YouTube. I really do. I just like to be in control of where and when my team presses the ball. So because of that, that's why I'm going to use balance on the defensive style. And one thing I will say actually about the 4-4-2, it's probably the best defensive formation, bar like a 5-4-1 or like a 5-2-1-2. I really do think it's kind of like the best defensive structured formation on the game. It's so hard to break down. So that's why I just think balanced on the defensive style is the better way to go. Now, the defensive width, there isn't two options. There's only one option, and that's the option I'm currently using, and that is to go a little bit more narrow on the defensive width. So to take it down from 50 on the preset to 45. This does just mean that we are a little bit more narrow and a little bit more compact in the middle of the pitch, making us harder to break down, really, YouTube. It's kind of like really just that simple when I look at it. And we're not completely narrow where my opponent can then still kind of use and abuse the byline meta. We're in a really good spot with that 45 on the defensive width, where we're nice and narrow and nice and compact, but not too narrow. The defensive depth, you already know what I'm going to say at this point, YouTube. It is, of course, the 71 depth. I'm not going to go into any detail with that, YouTube. 71 depth. Very simple. It automatically presses for you, automatically offside traps for you when you lose the ball, and it doesn't drain your stamina like a pressure on heavy touch or a press after possession loss will do. But if you're not interested in the 71 depth, I would probably recommend 60 in the 4-4-2, because we are a lot more defensively solid in that 4-4-2, so we can afford to be a little bit higher with the defensive depth. But of course, for me, it is of course the 71 depth. The offense is build up, play and chance creation. I'm going to spend zero time on that, YouTube. It is of course balanced and direct passing, your absolute bread and butter, YouTube. Believe you me, it really is your bread and butter when you think of it like that. The offensive width, a little bit boring, YouTube, okay? I do actually just leave it at 50. I really like where my left midfielder and my right midfielder are in general in the 4-4-2, and then you will see with certain player instructions that I use why I do just leave it on 50. Players in the box is going to be 7 though, YouTube. Very simple. I've always been like this in FIFA and probably always will do. The more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. It's actually very simple when you just break it down like that. It's kind of just like the way that I look at it, really. The more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. 2 corners and 2 free kicks like so. Custom tactics done. Let's get into the player instructions. Now, before we get into the player instructions, I have moved my camera on top of my actual gaming monitor rather than my PC monitor. Let me know, do you prefer the normal camera angle where it's over there, or do you prefer this camera angle where I'm looking right at you, right at the screen as I'm playing as well? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, the 2 strikers, pretty obvious really, YouTube, on a Connor Woolf Custom Tactics video what they are going to be on. It is, of course, stay central and getting behind on both the strikers. Very simple when you break it down. I want both my strikers to stay in them central areas of the pitch, and I also want both of them to make penetrating runs in behind. If you don't like having both of your strikers both on getting behind though, I would probably recommend putting the slower striker that you've got. I don't actually know who's slower, whether it's Mia Ham or R9 on my RTG. I think it's Mia Ham, I think. But have that slower striker on mixed attack, so that sometimes that striker will drop in kind of like into that number 10 position. Both my left midfielder and my right midfielder, YouTube, are on exactly the same player instructions. You will see why. I kind of play the 4-4-2 now, very similar to a 4-2-2, where I kind of don't want my left midfielder and my right midfielder to hug the touchline, and I can make them do that anyway with the D-pad setting if I'm in a game where I do feel like I need width. So because of that, I have both my left midfielder and my right midfielder on comeback on defence, first of all, making us more defensively solid. This is the game changer, YouTube. So have both the left midfielder and the right midfielder on cut inside. That right there is the game changer. That means that they will make penetrating runs inwards towards the two strikers, getting behind and getting to the box for cross. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I want them to make them penetrating runs diagonally towards my two strikers and also to get into the box for cross in them attacking positions. And that is exactly the same on my left midfielder as well. So come back on defence, cut inside, getting behind and getting to the box for cross. I then use my left central midfielder, YouTube, as a traditional number 6. So think of this player kind of like a Rodri, Boubacar Kamara role, you know, an out-and-out number 6 where they're not really interested in getting forward, although Rodri does actually score quite a few goals for Man City and get quite a few assists. But that player is kind of like a destroyer. So his job, or she in Ultimate Team now, that person's job is to get the ball, win the ball back, and then give it to the better players. So stay back while attacking and cover centre on the left central midfielder. The right central midfielder for me does then have license to get forward if that player wants to. So because of that, balanced attack, balanced crossing runs and cover centre. So that right central midfielder will venture forward a little bit if he or she feels it necessary in the game. So it's kind of down to that player's AI, where sometimes they will get forward and sometimes they will not. But I always like to have that opportunity, and really I always, especially when I'm using a 4-4-2, always have at least one of my left central midfielder or my right central midfielder as a more attack-minded central midfielder. My right back, YouTube, is then on stay back while attacking. I am not interested in my right back to attack at all. So stay back while attacking on the right back. Both my centre backs are on completely default settings, YouTube. So stay back while attacking, normal interceptions, and stick to position on both the centre backs. And then this is the game changer. My left back is on balanced attack and overlap. So my left back will have the license, if he or she wants to in the game, to overlap on that left hand side and make an overlap. Kind of think of it like this, is as my left midfielder kind of moves inwards, because of course he or she is on cut inside, so he or she will make that penetrating runs inwards, my left back will then be on the overlap on the left hand side. Very, very, very underrated. So definitely give it a go, YouTube, and see if you like it. And then last but not least, of course, my goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there, YouTube, is my brand new 4-4-2 custom tactics video for you. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Drop it a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can please, YouTube, hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive male attitude. Peace out. One love.